Mark, I know you've been asked a couple times to compare Herbert to Mariota, just his demeanor and stuff, but I guess should ask about Musgrave. Can you talk about Justin's performance and tying the record that Musgrave had since '89 for yards in a game?
That I did not have the Musgrave first question pot. Yeah, weird. No, he did a great job. There's a bunch of, when you're talking nitpicking on whatever that is, 75% completions. It's a good thing, but we had a couple plays that were there that he'll kick himself about, but he's just kind of going out there and having fun and playing, and the guys have certainly rallied around him. Bill Musgrave was a stud, and now is a great coach, and so I think we'll have to push that back a little bit on the comparison for Marcus or Bill or Doug or any other Musgrave.
Coach, can you talk about the defense and the takeaways they had tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the huge play was Lana there right before halftime, getting that play contributed by those guys, or part of that due to the guys up front creating some pressure. But it was big to get off that Schneid. I didn't even know that was, 14? You guys know these stats better than I do. 14 quarters of no picks, and we hit ourselves in the chest a couple times last week and on plays that could swing the game, and it happened, and so that's a huge deal. The other play that I thought was a huge play was Jaylen Brown. I know this has nothing to do with takeaways, but Jaylen Brown, who had kind of a busted assignment on the drive immediately before that big gain that he had with the great catch, and those kind of plays, they just kind of snowball, and hopefully we can harness that snowball.
There's a lot of talk this week about Herbert dealing with ASU's pressure and bringing all sorts of eclectic blitzes and stuff like that, but he appeared to be completely in command at a senior level. Like, what about him gives him the ability to not be rattled by anything a defense seems to do to him?
Well, I think, it's a everybody in deal. I think the coaches had a great game plan to vary both free releasing the back, protecting, how varied we were in protection is a big deal against these guys because of how they pressure you. The front obviously plays a part in that, and the biggest thing that he did so well is, like you said, when it was not a great protection scenario and he gets 4 yards, that's a huge play on first down against these guys. They kill you when it's 2nd and 16, 2nd and 15. That's where they make their money, and so 2nd and 8, even 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, those are huge victories. Yep, perfect example. That was a max blitz, zero coverage deal, and Farrell had him out leveraged, and then we got a couple big time blocks downfield.
Royce is behind the glass right here. Austin in front of the glass.
Mark, obviously it's been a tough stretch here, but when you look at Justin and the way he's playing, do you feel like if people can just be a little bit patient that he could get you back to where you guys want to be as a team?
Well, it's not a one-man show, but that quarterback position is awfully important. As you look around any level of football, that's the spot, and he's going the right direction. We can't anoint anybody anything at this point, but we like where he's headed. We love his demeanor. We like how he works. Just how he's handling it in there right now he's handling it like a vet, and that. We'll come back to work, and it'll be a big-time challenge next week on the road against a extremely talented defense at SC, very well-coached defense at SC.
Just, Mark, to that point, you talk about the way he's handling it. What do you see from him emotionally in terms of taking on that leadership role in the locker room, on the field, as a true freshman?
I think his leadership, or his taking on the leadership role, is by how he's playing and how he prepares. He works his tail off. He comes in and does extra, and he practices great, which, we always tell our quarterbacks, there's no off position on the quarterback switch, because you've got, for your team to be great, you've got to be great every single day. If you're experimenting and the right guard can't do it, that's one thing. But if your quarterback can't make everybody else better every single day, that's a huge deal. And so he's doing a really good job that way. I think, as a vocal leader, that will come. But he's a pretty level-headed dude. He's a pretty cool customer.
Yeah, Mark, you haven't been part of losing very much here in the last several years. But what does a win do now? I mean, does it? I got to believe with young players, it would really embolden their confidence. You said a tough matchup next week, and all games are different. But just the confidence factor?
No question. Huge. And that's one thing guys need to be, they're sitting with their Xbox for 10 years and hitting reset whenever they're behind, hit reset, hit restart, power this, and it's just easy. Or you're told you're the greatest player ever in the history of the world for 5 years, and then you get kicked around a little bit. And so to see that result, that tangible evidence of how hard these guys have worked and how they've stuck together, certainly is a big deal. Now we have to put it together next week, and the approach doesn't change. The approach doesn't change at all to how we do things. We'll nitpick everything and go back through and improve.
I have Coach Neal in the back.
Coach Neal's in the back.
Hey, Mark, to piggyback off that, you haven't been through this either, and a lot of your staff hasn't been through this. Maybe some of the guys that have been here a long time, but who's given you pep talks? Who have you been leaning on in this time to, just kind of, I don't know if give you confidence, but
Gandhi.
What?
Gandhi. Tremendous motivator. No, there's I've been very lucky to be around a lot of great people. Some are in this room that, when things are, let's put rough in italics and quotation marks of where we are right now. But you find out a lot about, who your real friends are and who sticks by you, and that team does, no question. And, but this one game, we don't need to, again, anoint the quarterback, or nobody's smart again. We're still all idiots, myself at the top of that list. But we'll go back to work and get better next week.
Clearly, you guys won the game, Mark, and TBJ had a long run. You guys made tons of big plays. But can you sort of talk about Royce there? I mean, he made some plays, some first downs for you, but he was also getting stopped at the line a little bit. And I don't know if that's so much blocking, or can you get a push on his feet, or is there something that he's just slowed with injury-wise? That's not Royce.
I don't know. Without watching the film, that was one thing we were talking about on the sideline, just how things were hitting. But I'll have to take a look at the tape and get back to you. Again, we believe in that dude 100%. And we believe in Matt Lubick 100% too.
Appreciate it. Good, all right.
Thanks.